How's it going, everyone? Happy Wednesday. We are here with El Coach. We're going to talk some rookie wide receivers. How do they compare to the 2014 class? And then we're going to hop into a big board. So strap up, load up your Underdog account, and let's fucking rip it, bud. Hello, GM, Vaporware, what's good? El Coach, how's your Tuesday going? We switched it up. We're doing Tuesdays from now on. So how's your week been so far? And you ready to talk some rookie wide receivers?
I'm fully juiced up after the combine. That was pretty great to see. Ready to go on a Tuesday. I feel like draft season is really starting to get hyped. We're starting to kind of see some of the mock drafts coalesce a little bit more. And like you and I were talking about earlier, like it was already a pretty hype worthy class, and kind of seeing what some of the wide receivers did at the combine, hard not to get even more hyped about it too. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, man, it's looking real. Like everyone was kind of, I think everyone, because of the running backs, thought this class was going to be kind of just shitty, but it's like we might see 5 quarterbacks, probably 4, maybe 5. I wonder what the Vegas line is for that. But and then maybe 5, 6, 7 rookie receivers in the first round, which that's going to push down some real nice talent down into the second round of rookie drafts. So I'm super excited, and just it seems like every year these guys are getting more and more athletic. So
yeah, it's nuts, man. And like the QB thing alone, where we might see like 4 QBs go within the top 10. It's really starting to look like that. And then 5 to 6 in the first round if somebody wants to snag a Bo Nix. And oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Penix, late first, early second too. So I mean, there's a lot of steam. I've heard some people talking about Sean Payton possibly really liking Bo Nix and his wealth of experience at the position.
I can see it. I've seen Penix and Nix both mocked to the Broncos there, which, I mean, hey, they just got rid of Mr. Unlimited.
Unlimited paycheck, man. How about that? Like, my goodness.
Married to Sierra, getting bans for doing nothing. It could be worse. It could be worse lives than the one Russell Wilson. Let's be honest.
Pretty great. Where do you think he's going to end up when all this is said and done?
I kind of feel like Vegas. Like Vegas is just I think they're going to try to be aggressive in the draft and trade up, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams: the Vikings, the Broncos, maybe some mystery teams that are trying to move up from later on. So I feel like it's going to be tough, and I think their fallback option might be Russell Wilson, and then I don't know, maybe pair him with AOC or pair him with some other bridge-ish guy to see if that happens. But I don't know. I mean, I guess the Steelers, but I don't know if I just don't see the fit with Mike Tomlin and Russ. Like, I just don't see those two meshing together very well. I don't know. Like, that's just purely vibes based. Like, I know there's some steam that he might go there, but I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be good I don't know if it would be good for Pickens and possibly Deontay. I think Deontay might get moved, but what about you? Did you have any landing spots in mind where you feel like it makes sense?
I mean, I love the first real chunk of news we're getting out of Pittsburgh with Art Smith is he's reevaluating Kenny Pickett and really wants to dive headlong into that, and it's so on brand for the Arthur Smith experience. So it kind of seems like they're just going to go with that. I think the crazy thing with Russ is like he can probably, I would imagine, sign for like a vet minimum deal. So some team that's, pretty much loaded up like the Steelers could kind of just take a flyer on him and see how it goes if they kind of guarantee him a starting job to go out of this, like to start the season. But yeah, you don't know where he's going to kind of, if he's going to be starting at the end of the season either. Like the Russell Wilson thing is weird to me because like you look at the fantasy production wasn't that bad, but then like some of the, when you start digging into it, it gets not great real fast. So, but look at us, supposed to be talking about wide receivers, and here we are.
The Russ talk is too juicy. Everyone on Twitter is just blowing up.
I love it. But yeah, man, wide receivers definitely showed out at the combine this week. When 4.4 feels slow, to your point, where it just seems like every year these guys are getting more and more athletic. Like that's pretty crazy when you had that number of guys that ran sub 4.4 speeds at the position. And I know we're not supposed to put that much stock into wide receivers running the 40, but it's still really cool, especially when like the entire stadium kind of went nuts when Xavier Worthy was breaking down that 4.21, which is absolutely
that was crazy to watch. Like, I mean, I know he's so tiny, so like I understand that it's like to me it's more impressive when AD Mitchell runs what do you run, a 4.33 or 4.34 at 205. That is more impressive, but I do like the pure just like 4.21, you break the record, like that's pretty exciting, especially with a big crowd there. That was very, very fun. So where do you want to start in terms of kind of, do we want to talk risers first? Like, and how many wide receivers are going to go in round one now, we think, after kind of, because like we said, we don't want to double count. Like we knew Xavier Worthy was fast, right? Like we knew a lot of these guys were gonna run fast. It's just like the level of which they ran. Like I said, it seems like every year guys are running faster and faster. But it does inform draft capital, right? So like if teams, if the NFL double counts it, then that's fine, because then if they get drafted in the first round to the second round, then we get bailed out for a hype. So yeah, just why don't you talk about kind of guys that you think were risers through the process, and kind of just think through the first round and kind of that back half, if we might get a few more guys going there now after their performances.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of risers, I think that performance pretty much locks Xavier Worthy into the first round at that point. And I mean, he does have like a pretty spicy analytical profile too, with the 29% target share, breakout freshman year at 18 years old. That's what you want to see from receivers, target hog in that offense. So I think that pretty much locks him into the first round. To your other point, AD Mitchell definitely seemed like he may have pushed himself from that kind of like fringe back end of the first round, beginning of the second, to he definitely seems like a first rounder now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Somebody made a Denzel Mims comp that I'm having a hard time shaking. So
no, please don't give me PTSD on the Denzel Mims one. That one.
Yeah. Uber athletic, Big 12 wide receiver. It's great.
Hey, we've had some hits in those guys, but we've also had some misses where it's like your brain just short circuits for a second there. You're like, please God, no Denzel Mims.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty cool to see. Like we were talking about, there are some really like interesting kind of through lines with this year's draft and the 2014 draft, where in the 2014 draft, there were 12 wide receivers taken within the first two rounds. And the first running back was actually, I think, taken at like pick 55 or 56. So we're seeing that same thing here, where you've got a really, really strong receiver class. And then I like the running backs in this class better than Bishop Sankey and Jeremy Hill. So I don't know if any of them go earlier than that, but I feel like you've got some good, dart throws in the second and third round of your rookie drafts with some of these running backs. But we've got the two studs up top with MHJ and Malik Neighbors. Kind of seem like they're interchangeable. Getting a lot of like AJ Green and Julio Jones type vibes from them, where you look at the just studs of studs, and like the 2014 class too. You had at the time Sammy Watkins and Mike Evans were pretty universally regarded as like the two best that were there. But then when you start to go through the list, like not all of these guys are going to be what we want them to be, and that's the tough part. Like that's the part that kind of stinks. Because like 2014, it went Sammy Watkins at 4, Mike Evans at 7, OBJ at 12, which seems insane. And Brandon Cooks and Kelvin Benjamin in the first round. So like you had 5 in the first round, and then 7 wide receivers in the second round, with the 4th wide receiver taken in the second round was a guy named Devontae Adams, and then Allen Robinson after him. Like same vibes, man. Like there's some big guys, there's some uber athletic guys in this class. Like there's going to be a lot of gems. And that's the really interesting thing is like, there isn't really like consensus outside of the top 3 guys in this class, That's going to be the tough part.
Yeah, there's kind of a flavor for everyone. Like, right. Like you like some fruity ice cream, you like some vanilla ice cream, you like the chocolate. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. Yeah, I think another big riser is, I don't know if it's a riser per se, but just he kind of showed up even more. I think everyone thought Brian Thomas Jr. was going to be pretty athletic, like probably low 4.4s. But he ended up weighing in, I believe, at like almost 6'3", and like almost 210 pounds. And then he ran a 4.33. So like, I don't know what his RAS score, I can pull it up really quick, but like, that's pretty great. So AD Mitchell and Brian Thomas both showed up. Like whatever, that they're bigger than any guy basically in last year's class, other than who's the guy that went to Carolina? Oh God, I'm blanking. The dude did absolutely nothing. But so yeah, big, fast. I think he might get pushed up. Like we're talking about O'Dunes, MHJ, and Neighbors going top 10. I think he has an outside chance of sneaking into like that 10 to 12 area. Because I mean, he was already being mocked at like 15 to 17. So yeah, and I think it's warranted. Like I don't think his analytical prospect profile is like amazing, because he really 2 years of production. But I think the Bengals, if they sign and trade T. Higgins, would be a great spot if he makes it that far. The Jaguars, whatever. There's a lot of teams that could use a big, fast wide receiver. So yeah, and then AD Mitchell, like you said, he kind of solidified himself from that fringe 1-2 round up into, I think he's same thing could go. I think teams will probably view both of them like pretty similarly. Maybe Thomas a little bit higher, but I think he could go same thing, as high as whatever, 12, 13, 15, which is crazy to say because we were kind of thinking of him as like a second round guy, but yeah, teams are going to get real frothy over that athleticism from the combine. So those are two guys I think just showing up as big as they were and running as fast, like it's going to push up their draft capital. Like we know it is. So
yeah. And I think I saw this really cool idea from Nate Tice talking about like basically like the Panthers really have a chance to kind of revamp their offense real fast. If they trade away Brian Burns to a contender late in the first round, pick up that first round pick, snag a wide receiver there, whether it's, I think he called out specifically AD Mitchell, and then getting Lad McConkey early second with their other pick. Like that seems like a pretty good duo to, see if you can, really get Bryce going and give him a little bit more stability with the skill positions at wide receiver. So be pretty fun.
I think that's a good setup for Bryce Young. Get Canales in there. Kind of imagine Canales. He's going to get 3 years in a row if he revives a quarterback's career. Like, I mean, I know Bryce Young's only a rookie, so it's not really reviving his career, but like, whatever. From what it looked like, it was looking pretty bad last year. So I think putting him in kind of that DK Metcalf, Mike Evans ish role where he's kind of like the downfield clasher receiver, and then getting whatever, yeah, like you said, like a slot / outside guy, kind of like Tyler Lockett type. I saw Ladd McConkey being comped to based on all his numbers. That's hey, there you go.
You're locking Ladd in the slot. I love it. It's good.
So yeah, what are the next kind of tier of guys you want to talk about after the top three? And then we just talked about Brian Thomas, AD Mitchell. You did a little primer on Worthy, but who are the guys after that you think had good combines and kind of could push themselves up into that early second, late first?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Ladd McConkey and that 4.39 40. Like, just, is he? I don't think, like, I'm trying to remember. Alec Pierce, I think, ran a 4.3 40 as well too.
He ran fast.
Yeah, there's hope for us out there. So he's you don't want to say surprisingly athletic, but like,
coach's son, sneaky fast.
Yep. Ricky Purcell turned in some good stuff too. So I think that next tier, like you said, you've got Worthy, Ladd McConkey, Troy Franklin and Ricky Purcell, kind of filling out that kind of where we see the second round going, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those guys, I mean, it's crazy because like you said, like there's just such a grab bag of guys that Troy Franklin didn't have a super good like I think he ran a 4.41, I believe, and he was 176,
which is still great.
Which is that, I mean, that's it really does show you like how spoiled we are when 205 and 209 pounders are running 4.33s. Like 4.41 is, I think it's fine. Like it's kind of like Jalen Hyatt last year where he was very skinny and everyone thought he was going to run like a 4.2 or something. I mean, it's fine. He can be a field stretcher and run a 4.41. He's good after the catch. He didn't, his drills did not look great. I'm going to be honest. He didn't look super fluid, but I'm not going to hold that against him with his profile. And he was fine enough athletically. So, but I mean, even maybe Troy Franklin falls now into like whatever the mid second round or something like that. With these other guys being pushed up. Pearsall is an interesting one because I mean, he tested very, very well. And I think some teams could fall in love with him and he could go as early as early second round. Maybe Panthers if McConkey's already gone. He could be another guy that fits in that range. And then who else do we have here?
I think Keon Coleman seemed like the faller from everything I saw with like I think everybody kind of expected him to run a little bit faster, show a little bit more burst because he clocked in around like 4.6, and then some of the agility stuff, it didn't quite seem as good. So that's
yeah, Keon Coleman, he's making my brain do backflips. Like it's like I forget what the PFF had some sort of like in-game athleticism score, and he scored well. He looked good in the tracking on the gauntlet drill in terms of he was like one of the fastest guys on that and one of the slowest guys in the 40. He's such an interesting case. I feel like he's either going to be absolutely insane, or he's just going to be a complete QJ bust. And it's like, I don't know which one it's going to be. Like, I don't want to take zero of him because I really do think like he just has that dog in him factor that just could just blow up in all the spreadsheet virgins faces. Pause.
That's
Jesus Christ.
It's a good one.
I need some more coffee to wake myself up.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but I think he will fall a little bit, but I do think there's a team could still fall in love with him, and he could sneak into the end of the first round to like a KC or a Buffalo or something too. So like, I don't want to like, it's he's still I forget what. Let's look up his RAS score really quick. I think it was still pretty solid. Obviously, his 40 was slower, but he's still very explosive with his jumps. And I don't know. I don't want to let the other guys just completely overshadow him. When I do think obviously he has some warts on his profile, but I mean 6'3", 213, 38-inch vertical, 10.7 broad jump. Those are all like very good numbers. And then his 40 was 4.64. So that's slow. Right. But
Yeah.
he's almost that kind of athlete where it's more, he's like a build up speed type guy. Like he's as opposed to just like a burner. And I do think, yeah, I don't know. It's not a guy I want like in best ball. I'll definitely take some. And rookie drafts, I do think because I think I might actually have a decent amount of him just because I think he will fall to like maybe mid second, like 203, 202, something like that. And with all these other guys being pushed up. So I wasn't in on him when everyone was mocking him like 108 or whatever, but now that he's getting pushed down, might be interested.
Yeah.
I know shout out to Ron Stewart, but he's kind of, yeah, like I think we're in the same mindset on him where it's just like so tantalizing, and the spreadsheet part of me is like no, and the just
The
watching
dog.
that can do windmill dunks is just like yes, hell yes, let's do it. So
that's me with Xavier Legette. Like you get what is it, like 6'1", 220 plus,
yeah,
clocking in at
221 or 223 or something
4.340.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, big guy, fast, and that for my reptile lizard brain, sometimes that's just what you want to see: big man run fast. So it's all right.
It's the bell curve meme, right? Big man run fast, catch football, score touchdown. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So what other guy? Let's see. Is there anybody else? Yeah, I think Ricky Pearsall was like a huge like winner. Like I think people were kind of like this guy played at Florida. They didn't have a great offense. Like he had a couple crazy catches, but I think they thought he was going to run like whatever 4.5s, and he ran so fast. He had a 42-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Call back to white men can't jump, white boys can't jump. I think yeah, I really do think he could go like early second. Analytical profile not great, but draft capital, that's all we need, and match him up with Bryce Young and throw some deep balls.
Yeah, man. It's just somebody a couple of these guys are just going to end up in spots that you're just like, ugh. You want, like somebody's going to get nuked, and it's not going to be fun. But like, that's where, like, I think that's where we'll kind of get all the rest of this like sorted out when you get the draft capital, and that'll obviously help make the decisions a little bit easier. So I don't know if anybody wants to draft the wide receiver 3 on the Eagles or something like that. So we'll see how it goes.
That would be, yeah, that's an interesting one. Let's see what else. So yeah, how far do you think, like, what do you think is the cutoff in terms of, with all these wide receivers being pushed up in rookie drafts, like, where do you think the cutoff is where you're like, okay, like there's a tier break here from the guys that I'm like super, super jazzed about that I really want?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you've got the top 2 kind of in a tier of their own, basically, and then I feel like Rome is in his own tier, and then you've got maybe 3 guys with Worthy, AD Mitchell, and Brian Thomas, maybe to kind of like close out the back half of the first round of your rookie draft if things go as we're expecting. And then the rest of it is, kind of like you were saying, where it's pick your poison. Like, what do they get for draft capital? How much of the profile do you like? Do you want to kind of swing for the fences and go for the guy that could be a home run. I think that's a pretty good tier break that I'm trying to break down in my head, not non-visually. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean that we were talking about what 1, 2. So it's MHJ, Neighbors, Rome, Worthy, Mitchell, Brian Thomas, McConkey, Leggett, Troy Franklin, Ricky Pearsall. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like maybe 10 receivers that were like not. We don't feel gross picking them.
Yeah.
Plus
And there's
5
legit smoke that like 6 to 7 of them could go in the first round. So, I mean, that's kind of insane because, I mean, like we were talking about with 2014, it was like what 4 or 5 that went in the first round. So you're getting these guys pushed up there in terms of what it'll do for our rookie drafts. If you've got 4 QBs going in the top 10 of the NFL draft, and then 7 wide receivers going in the first round of the NFL draft, so there's 11, and then you've got Brock Bowers. So like your first round pick in your rookie draft can be all first round NFL talent, which is absolutely insane.
And it makes you like, I feel like the longer I play Dynasty, the more I'm just like hoard picks. Like I saw like D Plot was one of the first guys I saw like doing it. I was like, seems like a lot of picks. Like you don't really need that many picks. And he was buying them like 2 years out. And I'm like, why are like, like in the beginning, I was just like, what the hell? Why are people doing this? But like, it's just such a safe store of value. And then like every year or like mid to early second round picks are just way more valuable than you think. You're like, oh, who's going to be there? Like I don't really watch college football super closely. Like I follow obviously a lot of people that talk about it, but I don't really watch it. Like I spend too much time with NFL in the first place. But I mean, yeah, man, like try to get those 25 seconds right now. Like if you're in a startup, if you're whatever, like in the season, as we get closer, try to get some 25 seconds. If you have a late second in like a whatever 210, 212 or something, and someone will do a swap, do that in a heartbeat. Because we see time and time again every single year, we go through these cycles of the season, and this is a good time to be buying those right now. So
yeah. And I mean, dude, like the scary part is like, think about the vet producers that you're going to be able to buy with those late firsts and early seconds too. Like that's the other part of this that gets really fun. I think you can, if this keeps up the way that we're seeing it, like I feel like you could get a Devontae Adams almost with like an early second at this point. Like if there's some FUD around guys like that, it's going to be fun, man. Like
yeah, that's a super good point too, because I don't have it pulled up. I should have had it pulled up. The like life cycle Dynasty life cycle graphic. I think I sent it to you like last week.
Yeah.
But, it like post combine hype. So like right now is a good time if you're trying to get some of those. We've been preaching it already of getting like the Adams, the Diggs is a touchy subject amongst everybody, but maybe a Diggs later on, like a Keenan or something for like a late second. There's a lot of guys where they're going like use the Underdog ADP, look and see like, okay, some of these guys are like whatever second, third, fourth round picks. And if you can get them for like a whatever early second or something like that, I think probably a solid move. One thing I want to mention, I was talking with Josh McAtee last Friday, and he was kind of saying this. I wanted to talk about this briefly, but he was kind of saying like, yeah, you want a receiver room in Dynasty where you have a few younger guys like whatever, like a Jordan Addison, like I'm trying to think like a Jaden Reed, like some of those guys where it's like they're not, they have the second year breakout profile. Like I don't think like any of those guys I'm like super into. Like I think they're the next superstar. Like I think they'll be pretty solid. And you never know, right? You want to have some of those guys where they do have the upside, and they can appreciate in value. You want to have some vet producers like a Mike Evans, like an Adams, like a Keenan Allen, and then you want some rookies, like get some rookie picks, like we said, even if it's early seconds, mid seconds. sprinkle those in there. And it really just gives you the best of both worlds in terms of you can still keep your value up, and if you need whatever, like if you do need to tank in season, you can sell some of the older guys and start the process over again. But you get the scoring, you get the value, and I think too many times in startups in general, startups specifically, but on teams, I see people go like they trade all their picks and they go all in and they have all old guys and then they leave themselves so thin on the back end, or they go and they tank so hard and then they never really push their chips in to the point where where they should, and use those assets to actually get assets that score points. So I do think that just was getting my brain turning of like, yeah, like how do we want to structure our teams and wide receivers specifically, which ties into our conversation right now. So yeah, like if you have a multitude of picks, definitely try to get some point scoring, some of those guys that we called out, and then whatever. Not saying you need to sell them all. Definitely still some upside with those guys, and get a good mix. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's going to be a fun draft class. Like we keep saying that, and it just like every week it's getting closer and closer. Like you pointed out with the chart, like we are firmly at like almost peak value time, which is really exciting. So I'm hyped for it, man. I'm really excited to see some of these wide receivers get in the league and just start wrecking some secondaries.
So yeah, why don't we, before we hop into a draft, let's go a couple more minutes on quarterback, and kind of like the value of the 101 and 102, and like what we would trade for, like what we'd trade for those picks and what we would trade those picks away for. So what I think you've done a couple 102 trades, I believe, right?
Yeah.
But how are you feeling on that? And like, where do you think the line is there in terms of how should we value those guys?
I think like obviously I don't want to break those into like 3 or 4 smaller pieces. I've used 102 that I had on a team where I like tanked too hard and I had just picks and I wanted to kind of play it safe and get a sure thing at QB. So I traded for Jordan Love and a little bit more, which I feel pretty good about because I think they're both kind of around the beginning of the second round. So got a little juice there. If you can use the 101 or the 102 to really, get into that elite tier of QBs, the top, I almost limit it to like the top 2, maybe Lamar in there as well. That's what I would like. I in one league, I traded a 101. I think it was like a 110 and a 25 first and got Mahomes. Or no, it was 2 firsts and a second for Mahomes, which like you have to do it at that price.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I feel like the 102, I've picked up quite a few of them. I feel like that's really the sweet spot to be in though, because like, depending on what the team in front of you does, like you're kind of getting, that free choice there. And it's not necessarily on you to have to pick between Caleb or MHJ, like it should be Caleb. But if somebody wants to take MHJ, then you basically have Caleb Williams fall into your lap and you can sell him off to the highest bidder for something else, or, just do the thing that you should do and draft him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I saw some conversations on Twitter about like how much do you need to go from 101 to 102, and it's just like I think there's just I have a lot of 101s, like I think we were talking about before, but I'm like I just feel like I'm gonna be at once Caleb gets drafted 101, I'm just gonna be able to get a freaking haul, and I'm looking forward to I need it on some of my teams, man. So, but yeah, I think 102 is nice because it's like like I think someone is gonna love whatever, an MHJ, a Daniels, a May, whoever it is. Like different people will like different guys, and I think you can really leverage that and get some very good value from that. I mean, honestly, the top 5 is like pretty insane.
Just absolutely nuts. And now like JJ McCarthy is starting to get pushed up to number 3 with the Patriots, and it's like, dude, like it's gonna get pretty crazy with the QBs just going up and up and up. If we get stuck in the back half of this draft, by the way, again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm gonna murder someone. Oh, 102.
It's about time.
Quickly before we hop in the draft, I just want to. I thought this is relevant to what we were talking about, but D Plot, who's been on the channel before and is in the Bulletproof Discord with me as an analyst. He had this tweet last year where he's like, official rookie ranks: 101 Bijan, 102, 104 trade for elite quarterback, and then just player with highest ADP. And then he followed it up this year with, how much do I need to add to get Josh Allen through Lamar, which is basically what you were just saying. Yeah. Player with highest ADP, and then just 205. Can I go to good vet? That's literally like exactly what you were saying, which is very funny. But
David's a smart dude.
He's a very smart dude. I cannot plug him enough. He definitely taught me a lot in the first couple of years, where I was like, it was a sharp learning curve where I was like, why is this guy doing this shit? Like, and I'm like, oh, now I'm sitting here like 2 years later, like, wow, this is nice.
All right.
Okay.
So we're coming up. What do you want to do here at 102?
Do you have a lean here between Lamb? I know you were talking about Jefferson before. But we haven't been getting 102s. So I don't know, like, if we just play the ADP game and think we can get him later on, I will let you drive the boat here and take your pick of these 3. Cause honestly, all these 4 receivers I view pretty similarly, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I love Jefferson. I love the dome games. I'm going to go that way. I feel like I love the season that CD Lamb just put together, but that was like one of the 4 best seasons of all time for a wide receiver. And I haven't got any Jefferson yet in the big board.
So, no, sorry. Keep going. Yeah, that's, I think Justin Jefferson could, I think you can easily take him 102 here, but what do you, him versus Lamb versus Hill, like what makes you go Jefferson there, even with the quarterback uncertainty?
I really like Justin Jefferson. I get Lamb and Hill both have elite QBs. It's okay to say that Tyreek is paired with elite Tua. It's it's just kind of a ham and egg take that I have. Like I think he's the best wide receiver in the game, and I have a hard time putting Lamb or Tyreek Hill over it. We did. I know they both had, like, CD Lamb had, like I said, I think it was like a top 4 season all time. Doesn't necessarily mean he can repeat it. They could definitely add somebody else to that wide receiver room. Tyreek on pace for 2,000 yards. The more I talk about this, the more I feel like I should have taken a CD Lamb or Tyreek Hill, but I wanted to get a J Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not really that worried about him. I mean, he's almost like Devontae was putting up numbers with who was it? The freaking Notre Dame, Deshaun Kaiser. Like, he was putting up like 30-point games with Deshaun Kaiser. Like, I think Justin Jefferson is in that mold where I'm just like, I don't care who the quarterback is. He's so talented. He's going to get his numbers. And I still think there's a chance that Kirk comes back. Although the steam for him to Atlanta is getting real heavy, which is cool me down.
Rock breaking that story wide open for the masses. I love it.
I think Drake London is like a very big. I mean, he's been a buy because obviously his ADP's been depressed just because of the first 2 years and the situation. But you've taken him a few times in startups recently, and I'm trying to move some of my Mark Andrews shares into some Drake London for sure if I can. I mean, I think it's the only problem is I don't think this is necessarily the time to sell Mark Andrews just because his ADP I think his ADP is like in the 5th round, which is pretty nuts to me. So we'll see though. It might be hard to do it once if Drake London does get the Kirko chains bump.
Yeah. Love it. We've got a high T back there at slot 12 with Kyron and JT just ripping it at the back end of the draft. I love that.
Amen, brother. We got Peter Porker here in the 10 hole. That's an elite underdog name right there. Choco Taco. I think I saw her this morning in Pete's draft. So we got a lot of badges.
Love it.
Any picks you want to call out here in the first 15 picks that are standing out to you, or any guys you just want to call out and good or for bad?
Yeah, I'm loving the start here at 11 with AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson. Harrison just went at 17. I think his ADP is at like 18 or 19 now. So, that's kind of how it is. But and I think a couple of the drafts you and I have done, we've seen him go at the 1-2 turn, which is exceptionally juicy. Not having the potential of the New England Patriots landing him and just completely nuking that. It would not be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we've talked about it ad nauseum, but the second round just feels kind of gross. But I think the more we go through it, I think the more I feel fine just taking him just to get some exposure. Because I don't want to have 0 MHJ, so like I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to, like, if he does just go absolutely nuclear with Kyler or wherever he goes, I don't want to miss out. So,
where have we talked about Nico that much? Or let's talk about Nico after this pick.
Yeah,
we're coming up here in 1. All right, so wow, Saquon at the end of the second. All right, so we've got Rashee Rice, Debo, Olave. Kind of lean Debo or Rice. What do you think?
I said I lean Debo. I just think Rice is kind of mispriced. Honestly, I feel like he should be going like in the 30s. So
okay,
get some spike weeks with Debo. Feels pretty good.
Yeah. You want to keep whizzing when we get the turn back. Yeah, this is setting up real nice for us.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good click on running back. Let's see who we have available. I don't think there's anyone that
ETN.
I like ETN. I like ETN, but I don't know if I'd take him ahead of ADP with all these wide receivers here.
Yeah. These next guys, kind of, where do you want to move on this? Olave just went.
Let's think about stacks later on. So I mean, we could go Rice. It's going to be hard to stack up Diggs. We could. I mean, if you want to take Rice, not Rice, any of these three, what are your thoughts here? We have 20 seconds, so why don't you talk through who you're feeling here?
I think we get a little bit of value with Rice, and we could see him continue to ascend in year 2. I like the yak capability with him, so I'm cool with that pick, playing with Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably going to add. I mean, we know they're going to add someone because they're getting rid of MV. The original Xavier Worthy MVS. So
starting out, we've got Jefferson in the first, Debo in the second, and then Rashee Rice in the third. So we're staying true to our roots in this draft. That's good.
Our T is nice and low. We're piss boys. It's a good Tuesday night. You were bringing up Nico Collins. I don't think we've talked about him too much. So yeah, why don't you go into your thoughts on Nico, kind of the Houston Texans in general? They just re-signed Dalton Schultz today. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't you give us our thoughts while we have a little break here in between picks?
Absolutely love some of the massive weeks that he gave you. I think he had a couple of like 25 to 35 point games, which is just awesome. The thing that keeps jumping out to me is that really high yards per route run. I think he was over 3 and had like one of the best marks in the last couple of years. Paired with an elite QB, playing in the defensively optional AFC South, I think is always good for a lot of mild weather games, dome games with Houston and Indy as well. I dig it. I mean, again, big man, run pretty fast, excellent yak capability. So I think mid second, I feel like he's probably like one of the better clicks you can get in that once you get past like Garrett Wilson, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's appropriately priced. Like we want to bet like on it's. We've kind of seen it with Burrow, and just like you want the quarterback that they're going to pass a ton. I mean, CJ Stroud probably had the best rookie quarterback season of all time. So just bet on the offense. They're like they could people. I think I've seen people talk about them adding someone for as a wide receiver 3. Just not super worried about it. Like I think there's enough to go around in that offense. I think it'll be super high passing volume with an amazing quarterback. So I think he's appropriately priced there. And like you said, after kind of like that Garrett Wilson pick right there, like I'm smashing Nico in that range. One more guy I want to talk about is well, actually we have 2 more guys I want to talk about, but so Nico in comparison to Tank Dell, how do you feel about Tank Dell going where he is going in that like 30-ish range versus Nico?
I think if anybody is brought in, it's going to affect him more than it's going to affect Nico. And there are, I mean, in that range, I would rather have Waddle. I feel like I'd rather have Evans. I'd definitely rather have Drake if you're buying into the, the bounce back, like the ascendance. I guess he can't really bounce back other than like having awesome, spreadsheet metrics. But yeah, like I don't feel like it's egregious, but there's just other, players that I like more in that range,
Yeah, I don't like, I kind of am just very like neutral on him. Like I think it's a fine price there. But I do wonder, obviously he did get hurt, but I do wonder if he didn't get hurt, if he would be going even higher. So I still think he's fine there. Like I'll probably be slightly above market on him, like maybe 10%. But yeah, I think it's okay to like both Nico and Tank. Like just bet on the offense, bet on the quarterback, and that feels pretty nice. We're going to be up in a few picks, but quickly before we pick, Mike Evans, one more guy I want to talk about. He's going to re-sign with the Bucks. I believe it was 2 years, 38 million, and don't quote me on that. But how do you feel? Like, do you feel like that is good for him that he's going to stay there, or do you feel like you would have rather like a little bit of his ADP was baked in that he was going to go to a Chiefs or somewhere and get a better landing spot?
I don't think it was baked in that he was going to go anywhere better that extremely, because I think otherwise you'd see him probably going around Devontae. I think it was just everybody kind of remembering that Mike Evans was really good and he just had a really good season. So I like him going back there. You're assuming they get Baker back. But I mean, he's just so productive. It's hard to argue with. All right. So we're up here. You want to get our rice stack with Mahomes here? Or go Dunes?
So, okay. So my thought is if we take Pacheco, and then we can push Mahomes, or do you want to just, because I think I would go Pacheco, honestly. Okay. I'm not a huge Pacheco guy, but I just think then we can try to get our full KC stack here.
Okay. We're going to get sniped on both these guys. I can feel it.
That's 3 picks of ADP value on Isaiah Pacheco. For
extreme value right there, bud.
Hey, we gotta stay true to the brand, okay?
We sniffed it out. Oh, Mark Andrews. Oh, okay.
There we go. We gotta go Mahomes now.
Right? Yeah. I have Mahomes here, right? I'm just making sure. Okay. I always love the fear of the misclick. That's great. So yeah, we're getting, fire up the hound again, the wolf again, because we're kind of scooping up some Chiefs value. The wolf in honor of Chiefsaholic.
Climactic. It didn't go all the way through, so it fucked it up. Classic.
Yeah, I'm a motor mouth. I talked over it. So yeah, we've got all three of our Chiefs past ADP. So we've got Mahomes at QB, Pacheco at running back, and then Jefferson, Debo, and Rice. I think that's a pretty hot start so far.
Yeah, I think it sets us up to take some more wide receivers in this 70 pick 71 and 74. We got three, so we're not like super behind or anything. And we took our two Chiefs detours with Mahomes and Pacheco. I feel like this is a nice start. We haven't been drafting from the first couple picks, so it feels nice to get something different.
Would you say it's cozy?
I would say it's very cozy.
I dig it. Yeah. Anytime I usually don't go early QB here, but I feel like 5th round Mahomes, you got to assume like the TD rate goes up this year, and they get him some competent pass catchers, more so than just Kelsey and Rice. So I'd be excited to see that offense open up even more with him there. Who's like, all right, landing spot wise with the Chiefs, like what wide receiver rookie wise would you love to see realistically that could go there?
I don't think AD Mitchell is making it there now. Like, I was kind of hoping for him, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it could be interesting. I saw that they might, I'm forgetting the name of the corner, but the corner that they had that was balling the fuck out in the playoffs.
Snead?
Snead, L'Jarius Snead, yeah. So I was seeing that they might trade him. So I was thinking, like, I saw like maybe the Lions at the end of the first round, whatever. Like, I think there's a few teams that would be very happy to pay a first round pick for him and pay him. And so that would be really fun if they got two guys in the back end of the first round there. But I think Ladd is actually pretty interesting there, kind of the inside outside game with the speed to replace kind of MVS, and also can pair up in the slot. So that'd be pretty fun. Worthy, I don't know if he will make it there now after the 4.21 40 at the combine. Troy Franklin, I still think is an option there. Just kind of a whatever deep threat plus yak guy. I think he still could land there. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really fun if they traded Snead, got something for him, a first round pick or second round pick, and then kind of double dipped there. I don't know if they would do that, but it seems pretty fun.
Do you know how many jerseys Ladd McConkey would sell if a white wide receiver gets drafted to a Midwest team like the Chiefs? Like, my gosh, you just print money. Be good.
Yeah, I think he's actually a pretty good fit for them. I think he kind of like the inside outside game. He's fast. You can get him some deep shots. You can get him some yak stuff. You can get him in the slot. Use him in obviously their coaching staff is super super smart, and kind of get him scheme him up in ways that he can win. So I think that'd be a good spot. I like that a lot. Let's see what's going on here. Trey McBride at 51 feels pretty nice for egg drop soup. Calvin Ridley. I don't know if you saw his reception looked pretty good. So
the bounce back.
It might be back in. I don't know. I was never really out. Like, I think he scored like, I don't know, in PPR like almost 14 points a game. So I mean, that's pretty fine. Like, and he did have a lot of dropped touchdowns. So I think if variance would have swung the other way, we could have a whole different perception of him. Roll him at pick 54 feels very nice for a guy that's might go top 5.
That's pretty. That's a huge value right there.
Yeah, and then we had Thomas going up to 65, which I think is warranted. I think we were talking about earlier on in a few of our drafts, like, he was a really nice click there. I think he was going like in the late 70s, early 80s, because it's like he even before he was projected mid first round, and now probably could go even higher. So I think that's he will continue to get moved up a little bit after that combine performance.
All right, so we're coming up here in one. Not loving the running backs here. I would love to push receiver. But we're a little early on Watson. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'm fine with Godwin and just getting a receiver and then seeing what comes back around to us if we want to take. I mean, we could go Kittle. We could go Kittle because we have Debo and we could try to get a Purdy.
Okay. You want to do it?
If not, we can just take a receiver and just because I think Notorious Parlay is going to take a receiver here because he only has 2. So.
Oh, all right.
It's fine. It's fine. I think we should have played it that way, but it's honestly it's fine. We can always take a receiver here, or what other running backs do we have? We have Ramondre, Demont. Feel like we should take a receiver here.
Yeah,
let's see.
I agree.
Go to receiver and let's see if there's any rookies that we think could get pushed up.
Got Franklin down here.
I feel like I don't know if I want to reach that much on him after that. I think he might stay around there.
Yeah.
I don't love Dobbs. Oof.
Do have 80, but we're about 40 picks ahead of.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I prefer 80 because I think he's going to get pushed up. So let's see what happens with Watson.
So he took Godwin and Kamara.
Okay, do you want to go Christian Watson or do you want to go 80 and just say ADP is a social construct and just draft him where we think he's going to be going?
It's tough. I don't know. You pick.
Let's go 80. Let's have some fun.
Let's live a little. We don't have any rookie. Well, yeah, we don't have any rookies yet, so let's live a little.
Okay, so wait, where does let's see, where's Purdy go? Where did he already go?
Purdy is usually 97. So that'll be coming back to us.
Okay.
Right about there.
That's a good okay. There we go. Right. So now maybe we can get a San Fran stack as well. With Debo and Kittle. And then maybe we have our option of if the receivers kind of dry up, we can go running back there. I think there's some fun guys in that range. So yeah, I like how this draft is turning out. 80 Mitchell pick 74. You know what? We're living a little, but I think he's gonna get pushed up a lot. Like
I agree. And I did something similar I had another draft like last week or maybe over the weekend where I took him. I think it was around at the 8th round. So it wasn't quite this early, but it was still definitely ahead of ADP. And like you said, like I'm honestly surprised like he hasn't kind of been pushed up more since then.
I think it'll adjust. I forget who I was listening to today, but they were saying like ADP after like maybe the next few days, it'll kind of settle until we get the draft. Well, I mean, there'll be free agency too, which could change things. But for the rookies, yeah. I think the guys that are going to get pushed up will get pushed up in the next few days, and then it'll be stagnant for a little bit. So I think we want to get ahead of it. It's not like I like Christian Watson, you like Christian Watson. I don't think he's a fine pick in that range, but I do think AD will be going like around this range, if not even higher, possibly. So yeah. We're living in the future a little bit.
Yeah. It's a fun exercise. I do that to myself sometimes when I'm thinking of dynasty trades. I'm like, how does this look a year out from now? Try to get ahead of that a little bit. Yeah. Same kind of thought exercise, but yeah.
I know Sean Siegel and I forget who, I think it's Gretsch, do like they predict the next year's first and second rounds every year. And that's one of my favorite videos. Yeah. Because I do think it's for best ball and for dynasty, it's a very good exercise to go through of just thinking what the landscape could look like what if they do hit, where could they go in best ball and in dynasty next year. So yeah, I think it's a smart way to think about things.
Yeah.
Shout out Rusty. I like the is that a wolf? What I actually don't know what your Avi is. Like I've seen it so many times, but I feel like I just don't even think about it at this point. But I like it. Yeah, Jeff.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's the bet we just made is taking him 30 picks ahead of ADP.
Oh man, I can't agree with Rusty's next comment more. We need some more like dog diversity in there. Like I've got like an old blue tick coon hound, and like the hound options pretty limited. I just, I need to get my dog in there. Get that silhouette of Riggs up there. Be good.
Oh, it's the Loyola logo. Okay. That makes way more sense. Just so zoomed in, I couldn't even tell. It's like one of those like have you I don't have TikTok, but my girlfriend has TikTok. There's like those videos where like they'll show a part of someone's face and you have to figure out what celebrity it is. It's pretty crazy like how like some of them you're like in 1 second you see someone's eye, just their eye, and you're like, okay, I got it. But that's my TikTok alpha for the day is find those face videos. It's pretty crazy how our brains work and like we recognize stuff so quickly.
The pattern recognition.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like you'll see someone's it'll just be their forehead. It'll just be this, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Like within like half a second.
Speaking of, this thing is glistening right now. My gosh, my apologies,
brother. I got the 5 head. Don't worry. It's I'm comfortable with it at this point.
All right, so we got a little bit of a running back avalanche happening here.
So if let's check the board and see does Parlay have any 49ers at the turn?
Let's see. He's got McCaffrey.
So should we just take CMC? Because I mean Franklin, I'm fine with Franklin, but I feel like we should take Purdy just to lock up our stack, and then we can figure it out after that. Oh,
yeah, Franklin just went, so I'm down to take Purdy. What are you thinking after that?
Purdy, and then let's use our clock. I'm fine with B-Rob. I'm fine with. We could take receiver here because they're about at ADP. I mean, we could do Deontay or Jacoby. Let's think through it.
Okay.
Let's go Purdy. Let's see. Are you how many receivers do we have? 4?
Yeah, we only have 4 right now, so we're definitely thin there.
I feel like we should take receiver. Do you have a favorite guy out of these 3? I kind of like Jacoby, honestly, but
yeah, both of them kind of have bad QB situations. There is some smoke around Deontay getting traded, though.
We could do that. Maybe he lands on the Chiefs, like every other play.
Let's go Jacoby.
I feel like Jacoby just is like a nice cozy pick for me. It's just like he is perennially underrated, and now we got 5 receivers. We got our anchor Pacheco, and now we can just slam rookies for the rest of the draft. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, let's run through it real quick. We've got Mahomes and Purdy at QB, so we are buttoned up there. Turtleneck and buttoned up. We've got Pacheco at running back, and then wide receiver, we've got Jefferson, Debo, Rice, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, and Kittle at tight end. I
like this team a lot, and I think we at least got our anchor, so like we're not doing the extreme 0 RB. So yeah, now I think we have a good, and we're coming up to a good range for running backs as well. So
yeah.
What about the running backs at the combine? How did you feel? Are there any guys that you were like that completely switched for you, like where you were in and you're out, or vice versa, or just overall thoughts on running back at the combine?
So this is going to be super boring, but I honestly don't have that many like running back takes for the rookie class. Yeah. I like Jonathan Brooks, but he didn't do any testing. He's coming off the ACL and stuff like that. Estime I thought handled himself well, did well. Corum put up some nice numbers. Legit athlete. Like I think he's going to continue to get pushed up. Um, who was the guy that kind of came out of nowhere? I can't.
Oh, Isaac Garando.
Yeah. What was that?
It's kind of like Pacheco, honestly. Like I just think of him like this is Pacheco. Like I mean, maybe he'll get better draft capital than Pacheco based on that, but
Yeah.
like really bad team, but just really good athlete. Could I mean, obviously Pacheco just fell into like a absolutely perfect spot. So I mean, we're not expecting that, but you know, I think I don't even think he's. You know what? I don't even think he's in the player pool though. That's. Did you see Pete?
No. Yeah. No, I think like my rookie take with running back this year is I'm really just going to kind of let draft capital sort it out and landing spot. Like I'm going real basic with it this year. I don't have any like hot takes or anything like that. I haven't seen anything spreadsheet wise that makes me want to like, make sure I don't leave a draft with a guy yet. But I think you're going to see some really nice values with running back in the second and third round of your rookie drafts for Dynasty. And I think there's like we're going to start hitting the running backs for the rookie running backs coming up here shortly in this draft as well. And I feel comfortable drafting him too, because there's a lot of teams that are going to have running back needs. Like if Philly is really letting Swift go, whichever guy they take, I feel like there's going to be a lot of steam around that. So,
yeah, I think I slightly lean Benson just because I know I saw Jacob was talking about just like kind of has the profile where he can just like bust off long runs, just big and super fast. So just the home run hitter type profile. But I kind of agree with you. I don't have a spicy take either. It's just like draft capital and in landing spot is going to be so important for these guys. And I do like I agree. I think like that mid to early second with all those wide receivers pushing them down, there's going to be some really good value in rookie drafts. So
Lloyd had a nice combine too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was 215, 216 and ran a 4.3. So gosh, yeah, I think he's a very interesting profile. So I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But I mean, yeah, like we said, landing spot is so important in draft capital. So I mean, if third round and to a where he's in a committee, I think it's interesting enough.
Yeah. So Trey Benson goes there. We're on the clock.
Do you want to go? Look, what running backs are available here? We're just talking about rookie running backs.
Brooks, Roshan, Zamir. A little early on some of those guys. Corum,
I mean, we could go Corum or Brooks. I say we go Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks.
I just think ADP wise, yeah, we take them and then.
Okay.
And then are there any receivers or tight ends that we're interested in here? Tight end, no, gross. Schultz. I don't hate Schultz. He's a little bit ahead of ADP though. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. Do we have any other stacks? No one for KC. Could go McConkey or Corum. I feel like how do you feel about our build wise based on the fact that we have 5 wide receivers and only 2 running backs? Do you want to just hammer running back for the next couple rounds after? I feel like Ladd is going to get steamed up too, so I feel like we should get ahead of it.
You want to get Ladd or Corum? Yeah. Which one?
I think Ladd. I just think there's going to be options later on, and we can just attack it through volume. I think Ladd's going to get pushed up. I mean, we took him only 6 picks ahead of ADP, so that's not terrible. And I think he's going to move up to be like an 8th round pick or something. So.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have some options coming back at running back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Braylon Estime, Marshawn Lloyd. Jalen. Yeah.
I think just build wise, it makes sense to just push it because we have two. I know Brooks is going to start the year off injured, but that's fine. We'll draft 7 or 8 and we'll feel fine. We probably only need tight. Okay, so let's see so far. So we have Mahomes and Purdy. We have Pacheco and Jonathan Brooks. We have Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Rashee Rice, Adonai Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, and McConkey. So I mean, we might be done at wide receiver unless we get a late guy that we like in the last couple rounds. So yeah, what do you think build wise here? Like 6, probably 7 running backs, and then 3 tight ends, I think probably, and then we have a pick to just play around with as it comes to us.
You want to take an Iowa tight end last round?
Brother, we could.
Eric All.
Did you see the Jonnu to the Dolphins report that he was visiting? He's going to visit with the Dolphins. I don't know if he was visiting with the Dolphins or let's see. Let's do a little.
That's low key. That's kind of a good fit. I mean, we want Fant there, but Jonnu's pretty shifty.
He visited the Miami Dolphins today. I mean, hey, Jonnu he's talented. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he's a great yak guy. Super athletic. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Kind of perfect fit for that offense too. Just he's not going to get a lot of targets, but when he does, he can definitely do something with it. I like Schultz. I think I was just worried. I was just worried about him not signing back with him. I know Tyler Emo Cowboy was kind of beating the drum that they did want him back. So shout out to him. But I mean, I think same thing as we were talking with Nico and Tank, but I think we just want to bet on that offense. And this is not a crazy cost at all for a tight end that could have some really big spike weeks in that offense. So
yeah, especially with the guys that are going in front of him. Like I would, in that offense with that QB, I would rather have him over Kmet and Goddard 100%. So I totally agree with that.
I mean, Musgrave, we don't. I like Musgrave as coming out, but I mean he was injured, and now they have Kraft. They have a lot of just guys in that room, so it's just like I don't know. I don't get
that was incredible discipline to not say too many miles to feed. That was gorgeous, man. Oh my goodness.
We're learning in the streaming game. Trying to. I had my one fuck up earlier with my with what I said, so I got to reel it in after that.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Let's see. Jeff T is saying first 5 with the boys. Yeah, Brooks, Benson, Corum, Lloyd. Right. Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah, I like the running backs. Like I get there's not like elite profiles, but it feels like there's some good players this year.
Yeah, I think there's some. Yeah, like we said, we just need some good landing spots, and I think we'll feel better. NFC East is going to end. Yeah, Saquon to Dallas, Pollard to Philly, and then what's the other one? I don't know who the fuck's going to go to the Giants, but there definitely could be some swapping around. Swift, maybe Swift to the Giants.
Yeah, Swift to the Giants. Oh my gosh, that guy. Oof.
Ooh,
all right, we're coming up here.
Sharps would have been real nice there.
Yeah.
So,
right, so we have a falling Jerome Ford, and I don't really want anything to do with Khalil Herbert or McLaughlin. I don't have to worry about McLaughlin now.
Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, I say we tap either. I like Ford and Herbert, honestly. So I don't know. I say we go one vet if they fall to us, and then one rookie.
Okay.
Lean to Marshawn Lloyd because of the testing for Estime and Allen. Well, I guess Allen didn't test, right? So
I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't anything special. I think he did.
I know we did bench test. Oh, okay.
All right,
Ford go.
Ford went.
Do you want you want to go? You want to just secure Lloyd and then see if we can get one of these other guys coming back?
Yeah.
If Herbert falls to us, I feel like we should take Herbert. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I'm down.
I think the offense is going to be better, and I know Roshan is also there, but I think Herbert might just be better than Roshan. I don't know. I don't think Roshan is like some world beater. So
we got to see what happens here.
We got to play. Or no, we did. Oh fuck, no. I thought I was queuing up Ford because I thought Ford was gonna.
All right, so your dream came true.
I'm sorry, man. I think we got to go Herbert over because I don't think Estime and Allen are even like locks for. They might be fourth round guys.
I think that I feel like every draft we've done together, we end up with like a Khalil Herbert. I feel like
maybe I don't know. I feel
as long as he isn't this year's
McLaughlin,
yeah. As long as he isn't this year's Jeff Wilson for us or my Rashad Penny, we'll be all right.
You know what? I think at pick 146, I think he's live to give us just even if he's not like the lead back, which he was at the end of the season last year, but even if he's not, I think he's a very good runner. When I was talking with Bush on the stream, he was super into Herbert just with his analytical numbers last year. So I think he'll give us a few spike weeks, if anything, and help us get through for Lloyd and Brooks as they come on later in the season. So.
All right. So far we've got a 2-4-6-1. We could start looking at another. We probably should start looking at another tight end when it comes back around to us. We've got Mahomes, Purdy, Pacheco, Brooks, Lloyd, and Herbert at running back. Wide receiver is J. Jeff, Debo, Rashi Rice, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby, and Lad McConkey, and George Kittle at tight end.
I really like this team. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is my favorite team. I think we said that last time, but I feel like this is now it's overtaken our last one we took.
It's a really unique build. I feel like I don't feel like I've seen a lot of these players together. Which is pretty fun doing these drafts so far. Like
we're getting some ADP value, but we're also living a little and getting the rookies before they get steamed up. So I feel like, yeah. And I don't usually take two quarterbacks that early on, but stacked up, it just makes sense, right? Like
it's very against type for us. Yeah.
Swift and Eric Gray. Okay. I better get some more Eric Gray on my Dynasty squads then.
Hoosier Devo has some unhinged takes these last 2 weeks. I love it. It's good stuff.
Hey man, I anybody in the chat who's willing to be here and just push the takes, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Day 3 running back Jaden Sheridan. I know nothing about him, so we might have to do some Googling in the.
That's a great name.
On the other tab here.
Find out. Jaden Sheridan.
Anything goes. Yeah, I agree. I think as we get more information, it's a little bit less anything goes. The first, whatever. Like we've been drafting for almost a month now. Like in the first couple of weeks, it was just like we have no idea what the fuck's going on.
The Monmouth Hawks. That's where Sheridan hails from.
Whew. You know what? I'm thinking about I don't know if Pete wants to fully lean into the Dylan Laub /Lube I don't know if he fully wants to lean into that, but I was thinking about DMing him and being like, yo, you want a clip? I can make you a clip. Like if you really want to go for it, I can make it happen.
I love it. Yeah. He turned in a nice 40 time too, didn't he?
Yeah, I was looking. I think I just followed him on Twitter. 1 second.
Let's see here.
I think he had a pretty good combine, honestly. 4.54 40. His 10-yard split was tied for second amongst running backs. 37-inch vertical. 3-cone was 6.84, which is number 3 amongst running backs. He was 5'10", 206. 23 reps on the bench press. I mean, those are pretty solid numbers. I mean, I don't know if the draft capital is going to be there, but I mean,
he straight up looks like the second coming of Rex Burkhead. Is what it's. I'm getting Rex Burkhead vibes.
I'm getting huge Rex Burkhead vibes from him.
All right, we're coming up. We got to lock it in.
Okay.
So looking at stacks, we don't have any Tampa Bay. I don't want to touch Waller. All right, we're on the clock.
Yeah, okay. I don't think there's that much of a difference between Cade Otton and like some of the tight ends that go later. But if you want to take him and just be done at tight end, or we could possibly go 3. We could go Elijah Mitchell and bet against the CMC teams, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, let's do Elijah. I like that.
Elijah first, and then see what
Yeah.
falls.
Yeah, that's a really good call.
So we have 5 running backs: Pacheco, Brooks, Marshawn Lloyd,
Khalil,
Herbert, and Mitchell. I feel like that's I think we got some contingent guys and some guys that give us some weeks. Right. Okay. We don't need quarterback. Do you want to go Otton and then we can go 3 tight ends? Like there's no running backs here that I'm like super, super in love with. Or we could go Demario Douglas or Jatavian. Do you want to go Jatavian Sanders over Otton?
Maybe. Oh boy. I just screwed this all up. Too slow.
Whatever. I don't really have a strong. I probably lean the rookie, but I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It gives us. I think we can go 2 tight ends, but I think with 20 rounds, it just depends on what falls to us the last couple rounds. We'll see. Because I feel pretty good about receiver. I don't know if we can tack one on late, but that's a pretty strong. It's a pretty strong 6.
Yeah, I think the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is you're going to have like the handful of games that Debo likely misses in the middle of the season. As per tradition, because he's just an absolute dog. Yeah. I mean,
we still have what 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 5 more picks, so we can definitely get at least one more receiver.
Are you saying we don't need tight ends? There's tight ends at home. Is that what you're saying?
There's definitely tight ends at home.
I love it.
I think so. Wait, so we're done at quarterback.
Yeah, you want to run through the team real quick?
Yeah, we're done at quarterback. We have 5 running backs. We have 6 receivers and 2 tight ends. So yeah, I think we have some flexibility here. Just like BPA, like whoever falls to us, and it gives us some options. So yeah, this is a fun team. I really like this team. Holy shit!
Good discipline on pushing me away from the running backs there. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I just I still like Estime and Allen. I think I don't want to like leave them for dead. Like I think there's, like we said, like this class is just such a big jumble. But if we're following the combine, I think for running backs it matters a little bit more if it just informs draft capital a little bit. And so if those guys fall to the 4th instead of the 3rd, whatever. I mean, it's it's just as a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I mean, Estimate still his RAS score was still like 8+. He was slow in the 40, but he was pretty explosive with the jumps and everything, and he's huge. So I don't know. I'm not out on Estime. And Allen, I mean, he's just such a I think he's such a boom bust product. He's either going to be really good or he's just going to be just a grinder. But I mean, I don't know.
Caught in quicksand. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be fun to see one way or the other.
Danny, yeah. Dude, he was insane.
That's good stuff.
New Hampshire Wildcat crushed it at the comp.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do, man.
You just sometimes when you're drafting the whispers in your ear from some of these guys are just like what if,
especially when it's this early in the off season and everything's just like wide open. You're like the game we were playing last week or 2 weeks ago where it's, can you imagine this player on this offense? It's a possibility. Yeah.
I'm really excited for free agency, honestly. If not anything other than just my dynasty shares, where I just have like so much Noah Fant, Hunter Henry, just like bums that like in best ball where we don't really care about. But I'm just like, if I get if this guy goes from worth nothing to like worth a mid-second round pick, like that's a huge dub for me. So like I'm pretty excited for the Hunter Henry to X team and Noah Fant to X team, whatever. Keep going. But
Speaking of, that's what we have coming up here. The Noah Fant show.
brother, I'm
The
in.
3 tight ends? Like, come on. We should have put it back in the holster for K. Dot and held out for our guy Fant. That's tough.
I think we can still take him if you want. I mean,
Yeah.
we got five more picks. We got a lot of picks left. These 20 round drafts, they sneak up on you. You're like, oh, it's round 16. This draft's almost over. You're like, no, we still got 30 more minutes of this boy.
It does feel so much longer than drafting a BBM team, which is wild. I don't get it.
It's only two
bizarre.
more rounds, but it just feels so much slower.
Yeah. You start getting into the tier where you're like, whatever, like throw it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Davis Allen going. There we go.
I just don't even know. I think they're gonna bring someone in. I don't know. I'm not into Davis Allen. I have him stashed a few places in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Just because he was absolutely free. Okay,
right.
Let's see. So what do we have coming up here?
We've got actually, like, if you want to get wild with it, I kind of like Palmer or Moore here for some potential boom weeks at wide receiver.
Who do we have at running back? But I think I'm fine with either of those two. Yeah.
Running back. It's
Dobbins, Miles Sanders, Gainwell,
Dylan Lobby way down there. Yeah, I feel like we can wait on running back, right?
What about where's Fant's ADP? Or did he already go?
214. So we would need to take him.
I say we go either your pick of I kind of like. I mean, as gross as it is, I kind of like Elijah Moore better, but I don't really have a lean because if Evans and Godwin are there, then he's the wide receiver 3. Maybe Elijah Moore is the wide receiver 2. Like probably not, but maybe.
You want to do it?
I'm fine with it, but yeah, you choose your guy. You missed your pick. Oh, we're good. Okay,
no, we're good. We got
so. Do we just? I mean, I feel like I like Fant better than these tight ends here. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm fine breaking ADP here because I don't think there's any deal breakers here.
And then just follow up the last couple rounds with some running backs.
Yeah, because then we've got 7 receivers, so we're good there. We're good at QB. We'll be good at tight end. And then
I just don't think there's that. I mean, we could go Miles Sanders. I know it's gross. I don't know if it's worth it to take him and just see if Fant falls to us. I mean, I'm not like married to Fant, but
which one?
I think Sanders is the right move, honestly.
Oh,
you got it.
I got it.
I just think it's gross. It's really gross, but I actually don't hate Miles Sanders at pick 194. I just think there is some upside there. It's not like Chuba is some like super entrenched guy and running back injuries happen. I
totally agree. The offense should go up. We've seen Canales definitely lean on running backs in the passing game as well. It's a tough. Who is Sanders a better pass catcher than Chuba? Like that's a tough one.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Like Sanders, it confuses me because he had that great rookie season where he had like 50 catches or something like that.
Yeah,
and then, and we were, gaslit into thinking he's going to be great. And then it just, never came true.
Yeah. That season with just goes to show you whoever lands on the Eagles, we just want them. Like
Mhm.
the rushing quarterback Jalen Hurts definitely. I mean, it just helps open the rushing lanes. Which, hey, if we're talking about that. What about Taylor with A Rich and running 80 plays a game? That's going to be fun. I think.
I'm hyped for it. So semi-related, what do you think with Jason Kelsey retiring? Do you think we see like a real downtick in the tush push, the brotherly shove success rate without the hedgehog
That's a
there?
really good question. I haven't even thought about that because he just retired. Uh yeah, it's weird because he helped pick I believe it's Cam Jurgens.
Oh my gosh, dude. Sorry,
What
go
a name.
ahead. We can have some Cam Jurgens takes as a Husker fan.
Oh yeah.
I'd be real nervous about him at center. So like he started out, he was recruited as he was a tight end.
Really?
And then he's super athletic. So definitely in the Kelsey mold. But like his hallmark, well, not his hallmark, but like he had this tendency to over snap the QB out of
Oh,
shotgun
geez.
a lot.
He's
And it
one of
would,
those. He's one of those guys.
yeah, and like Adrian Martinez was the QB at the time, and like it would always seem to happen at the most inopportune time. Because like that was Nebraska's MO under Frost, was like, almost always winning the game, but just losing in the most punishing way possible. And it like you could just see it coming where the snap would just go like right over his head, or it would go in the dirt. It's like, man, like I'm sure he's got it figured out. He's like super athletic offensive lineman. I want him to do well, but yeah, that's
I
tough.
think I'm just hoping, I'm praying to God that him being with Kelsey for what it's been 2 years now, that he just absolutely bullied the shit out of him and made sure that he got his snaps down. It's kind of like a Jordan Love situation, or like whatever, like a Brett Favre situation back in the, or Aaron Rodgers situation back in the day, where you just get to sit behind a Hall of Famer for a couple of years and just learn and take your lumps. I feel like I'm hoping that, but yeah, I mean, in terms of tush push, I mean, it's so unique across the league with Kelsey. I do feel like there will be a slight downturn in tush push efficiency,
Yeah.
just because there has
Tush push
right?
efficiency.
They can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh my gosh, I never thought I would hear those three words together. Tush push efficiency. I love it. It's a great team name. Oh, we lost Fant. That's a heartbreaker.
I know. Someone stole our boy.
Heartbreaking. All right.
Emotional damage.
Gotta pull that one out. Okay, so tight end / running back, right?
Yeah, that's where we're gonna want to party.
You know what? Shipley? I don't hate Shipley. He has a pretty intriguing receiving profile. Oh, we got 3-leg Greg.
Yeah.
Zeke, you know what? Zeke is gross as well, but I don't hate Zeke. Chris Rod, Justice Hill, they're probably going to bring someone in, but Keaton Mitchell is injured. He hit towards ACL late in the season. So my leans would be one of those running backs between those 3 or 4. Even Tank Bigsby is gross. Don't hate it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the Tank Bigsby noise from now.
That's a grudge click right there, is what that is.
You're like, oh fuck, not Tank Bigsby. Did Izzy go? Yeah.
Yeah, Bannekamp. Yeah. I think I lean Dulcich to start, and then we kind of see what shakes loose at running back, because he's only got 2 tight ends as well.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Do you want Dulcich, or do you want to go a different way?
What other tight ends do we have late? I'm just trying to see if there's any other Jelani Woods, but I don't even know if he's gonna fucking do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Ben
pretty
Sinnott.
gross. We got Ben Sinnott, who Spags has been on. We have 6 running backs, so I let's go 3-leg Greg for the brand.
Let's do it.
For the brand, we can do it.
All right, he's in there.
Okay, so then click off Sinnott, and then I mean Zeke. I like Justice Hill or Zeke.
Okay.
I just think they're very not sexy picks, but I mean Zeke, whatever. If he just falls into so here's the real decision point here: Zeke or Justice Hill. Justice Hill just for not being as gross, or
I kind of feel like Zeke's gonna fall into points. Like he's he's still good.
Catches passes.
Yeah, the team's gonna want him out there for third down. Like I'm cool with it.
Okay, I'm down.
Get a little gross at the end of the draft.
We got one more pick. Let's see who falls to us. Shout out Toronto Dave. Toronto Dave, I was listening to you were on a podcast. I was listening to a podcast you were on, and shout out to the Mandem repping the 6. Let's see.
Yeah, this is the right answer.
Hey man, what is it? Pick 19th round. It's gross. It's real gross, but sometimes you gotta do it. Alexander Madison is gonna rock out for the Chargers.
That's a take, man. Who's your Devo? I love your energy, man. This is great.
Who's your Devo? I need what you're smoking, honestly. Like I say that with the utmost respect. Like it's just you got to get your takes off. It's that time of year. It's that time of the stream. You got to do it.
Yeah. Where I need your take on where Russ is going. Who's your Devo? Like, get out the crystal ball. Let us know.
Yo, yeah. Hey, chat. Give us your Russ takes. Where do you think Russ is gonna land? Spam the chat with your Russ takes, please.
Oh man. Speaking of, Russ just got drafted. How about that?
I mean, he's gonna go somewhere. I don't know if he's gonna play at the end of the season. That's what we took. Did we take him last draft or a couple drafts?
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah. Yeah, and I took him in our last startup as well, which just
feels. I mean, QB3 though. I mean, it's QB3.
I'm gonna try. Like Russ, I just remember the good times. Like this is whatever. Like I don't think anybody. I hope like he doesn't get like, killed going out at prevented from going into the Hall of Fame or anything like that because of this. Because like that, the dude had like an incredible start to the career. Because with 3rd round pick, and they gave who was that QB from Green Bay that they gave all the money to?
Oh fuck! He tore up the Lions in I forget it was week 17 or whatever it was, 18, 17, 16.
Yeah.
He tore him up for 5 touchdowns. Then he got a huge contract with the freaking Seahawks. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Russ just was on fire, and they just built the super team around him. Like it was, and he was so much fun. Matt Flynn. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. He was so much fun to watch, man. Like
you're backstage at a Sierra concert. Jesus Christ.
I can't wait, because we're also going to get – I hope we get Russ as part of a broadcast crew as well. And, just some corny takes about, it's going to be good.
We got Toronto Dave saying Vegas. We got Al Estrada saying Raiders. We got Steelers. We got Raiders. We got the Sierra concert. We got Minnesota drafts up to number 3, New England to 11. I can see that. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Yeah. Bo Nix to New England. I could see it. Pats. You know what? Pats are interesting. If they take MHJ and they just go Russ and just say fuck it.
I feel like they could. So this is a fun one. We haven't really got into yet, but like, all right, this last year the Texans were kind of that hidden offense that really, kind of helped you in different tournaments and stuff like that with, some of the crazy ADP values you got on the skill position players. Like what team do you think that's going to be this year?
I mean, you just got to look at the bottom of the barrel. So who's the bottom of the barrel this year? I mean, honestly, probably the Panthers is the right answer.
Yeah.
With Canales and possibly bringing in some rookies. Yeah, probably them. But I'm trying to think who else. Let me think.
Got that, like New England. I feel like if they trade back enough and just bring in some dusty, like so they get some good value on vets and free agency, like they could possibly move it a little bit. I don't know.
I think the Bengals are not cheap, so that's not going to be one.
Yeah.
Maybe the Broncos. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but maybe the Broncos just left for dead and they just get a quarterback that is, I don't know, maybe a Bo Nix or maybe some whatever, or Penix and just I can see that.
It. All right, what do you want to do with this last pick? We've got 2 QBs, 7 running backs, 7 wide receivers, and 3 tight ends.
So we're between running back and wide receiver, right? So I mean, let's just go BPA. So let's see, just switch off to running back and wide receiver tabs, and let's just see what's here. I mean, Alexander Madison, Ronnie Rivers, Schrader didn't have a good combine, I don't think. I mean, if it's honestly, I'm probably saying Ronnie Rivers or the other guy. We're gonna get timed out if we don't.
Oh shit!
Frank Gore. Okay,
Madison. There you go. Dang it! I wasn't paying attention. My bad.
No, you're good. Frank, it's 20th round. Whatever. Maybe Frank Gore Jr. is like his dad.
That was tough. All right, yeah, let's pull that back up.
Recap the squad really quick, sir.
All right, so we have got Mahomes and Purdy at QB. Running back, Isaiah Pacheco, Jonathan Brooks, Marshawn Lloyd, Khalil Herbert, Elijah Mitchell, Miles Sanders, Zeke, and Frank Gore Jr. Man,
it's not sexy, but it'll get it done. We got some rookies, we got some old, very, very dusty type picks, but sometimes those are the picks that'll just you'll get 10 points in week 15 to sneak you through, and it's not terrible.
This is definitely a 0 RBT lineup right here. It's great.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Rashee Rice, A.D. Mitchell, Jacoby Myers, Ladd McConkey, and Elijah Moore. And then tight end, Kittle, Cade Otton, and Greg Dulcich.
3-leg Greg. Bounce back season with Bo Nix. Here we go.
Yes.
So any other thoughts before we hop out of here?
I don't know, man. Like we've gone through so much. Like I'm hyped about the wide receivers, in case you couldn't tell. It's such a great time to, kind of make some moves in Dynasty if you can. Fun time to do startups as well. I'm really liking the way the ADP and the big board is kind of coming together here for best ball, where you're starting to kind of get your stances in, your player takes in, and kind of pushing guys up the board on ADP. We did that with A.D. Mitchell. I think we were 30 picks ahead.
30 picks, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, dude, whatever. Like, $10. It's early March. Like, let's have some fun, man. Let's get those guys. So yeah, like that's it's kind of coming together. So I'm hyped about it, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like this team. I feel it's just like a good like we hadn't drafted from the 2 spot or the early selections yet, so getting 2 stacks with Mahomes and Debo feels very, very nice. I've got Pacheco in there as well, and just starting with Jefferson, and I think like I feel super strong, and then at all positions, and then running back, it's like kind of gross, but we have some rookies, we have some vets in ambiguous situations, and some contingent guys like Mitchell and Sanders, and possibly Zeke. So yeah, I think it gives us a lot of outs to get through in those playoff weeks with those running backs, and just having one of them a couple of them catch fire. So I think this is my favorite team so far. We've drafted on stream. Hopefully Elijah Moore is the guy we need in week 17. Just redemption arc all the way. And I do have one more question for you. I was just thinking before we hop off. Trey Lance rumors. Where do you think he's going? Do you think there's a chance he goes to Denver or he goes to Minnesota? Are you right when they had you out? Are they pulling you back in?
I always go back to what was it? Somebody put this on Twitter, and I can't remember the account, but it was so great, and I was laughing at it for like 5 minutes, where they said that they turned over their Dynasty team to ChatGPT, and the first move that it recommended was cutting Trey Lance.
Oh, I think, is it Sam Sherman? I don't know if it's.
Yeah, maybe. It's great. I don't know, man. Like at this point, I hope he has a good career. I don't know how what those. I don't know. Like, I'm at a loss.
You're at a loss for words on Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I've as a guy that's made some Trey Lance picks back in the day, a lot of lessons learned there. I try to be pretty fluid with like player takes and like stances on like what I want to draft a guy. I will probably want to get QBs that have had more than like 400 pass attempts at the collegiate and high school level. But yeah, I mean, like you look at the hype that was around him when he came into the league, like everybody was touting his arm strength, decision making, like his ability to like break down the whiteboard and stuff like that. He was fast, like maybe not fast, but like he had running capability, like he would truck dudes, like still an exciting player. But yeah, like I'm setting the expectations low so that, when he does break out, it's like, yes, good for you, man. Like, I love it. How about you?
I mean, in best ball, definitely not rumors of Lance Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, it's not really rumors. It's a couple tweets. I mean, in Dynasty, if you can get him for, I think you drafted him in our last, or no, you didn't draft him in our last start. We drafted him a couple ones ago. If you can get him for like a third, I mean, honestly, there's worse bets to make. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I'm already a proponent of just stashing backup quarterbacks. So one that possibly runs and is young, and I mean, whatever. There's crazier things have happened. So definitely not a best ball take though. Best ball, no. I will be staying far, far away after I took way too much in big board and early drafts last year. So that is something I do need to learn, is to pivot when there isn't a lot of information pointing that Purdy was going to be the guy. I need to listen to that information. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. And that's all right. Do we have a couple more minutes? Because this is semi-related. All right. So like the corollary with what you're talking about, where like we had this evidence, all right, that Purdy was he had ascended. It was his job to lose. Who pointed it out? The similarities between the Trey Lance situation and what we're seeing right now with Fields. I think it was it McNamara? Jordan McNamara was saying like similar ADP.
I saw it, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like similar ADPs and stuff like that, where we're seeing the thing with Fields where like, you're seeing the trade market, at least like the signals are kind of drying up and stuff like that. You don't know how much of that is gamesmanship from other teams. Clearly Chicago seems like they're going to be moving on. And then in best ball, he's still got a pretty high price tag. In Dynasty, he's going in the third and fourth round. I feel like.
Yeah, like I've seen him go second round sometimes. Some people get real juicy, but yeah, third round I think is his ADP, like early third. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I don't know, and we've had a lot more evidence with Fields versus Lance, but yeah, like I
They're
don't
not
know.
so dissimilar, honestly. Like,
Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, I've got Fields in kind of the avoid camp right now until we see something certain coming up. I really don't feel like you're gonna miss out on much of a discount in the meantime either. Because there's
no,
going to be,
people who have them are going to hold them. They're not going to just trade them away for something cheap. So yeah, it's if I had any Fields, I'd be worried. But luckily, I traded my one share for Will Levis and something, so I don't feel that bad. I'm just like I don't have to deal with the headache. Will Levis, Mayo man, I get to have him on my team. Feels pretty good. So
could you imagine telling your the version of yourself 4 years ago that you traded away Justin Fields for Will Levis and felt good about it?
For a man who puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's see. So yeah, thanks everyone in the chat. We got 48 people in here, so I think that's the most we've ever had. So shout out to you guys for showing up. Closing thoughts. We are switching our Wednesday show to Tuesday just based on availability of our schedules. I've been slacking on the Monday streams. I'm going to try to get the Monday Dynasty streams going. I just was taking a short hiatus. Work has been pretty crazy, so we're going to get back on that. No Friday stream this week or next week. I was going to have Sacrilegious on, but I'm having some family in from out of town, so going to postpone those. But yeah, I have some other. I was talking to Liam Murphy, winner of BBM. Oh God, what is it? 2? And some other big names. So definitely tune in. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment after. If you are not already subscribed, please do, as that helps us grow the channel. And El Coach, thanks so much for pushing us to take AD Mitchell, and for driving the boat on the stream.
Always, man. Thanks for having me. Keep pushing, man. This is awesome. I love it.
We're growing the Bindles and El Coach brand. You know, we got to get the hot best ball summer. We're gonna ride the wave, and then August we got to go hard. I know Ron Stewart.
Yep.
He calls himself Mr. August, and he streams every day. So we might have to get crazy. You might have to tell your wife and kids, be like, hey guys, sorry, August, I'm locking myself in my basement, and we're going to the moon. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna finish 15th again sitting on the sidelines. So let's get after it.
Hey, if anybody has the ammo to do that,
yeah, I know. Trust me. I don't want to wear it out too early, but we'll get there.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks. Have a great night. And we will see you next Monday. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.